Hi everyone, I'm Rosemarie Miller here with Gigi Zamora, a wealth reporter here at Forbes, who's going to tell us all about billionaires who are too poor. Yes, you heard that right. Billionaires who are too poor to make the Forbes 400 list. Thank you so much for joining me today, Gigi.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first, tell us, what is the Forbes 400 list?
So the Forbes 400 is an annual list of the 400 richest Americans. That's basically it.
The 400 richest. Okay. And we got some billionaires who are too poor. So what was the cutoff to make the list?
So the cutoff this year was 2.9 billion. So it was up 200 million from last year. So some people just didn't make it.
Yeah. And about how many people didn't make it?
So about 350 billionaires from the U.S. didn't make the cut.
Wow. So are there any billionaires that we know of who didn't make the cut?
There are many famous faces. There's Oprah. She's at 2.8, so just slightly didn't make the cut. There's Jay-Z. There's Tom Ford. The ex-COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, didn't make it. Apple CEO Tim Cook didn't make it. And even the only two active athlete billionaires, who are LeBron James and Tiger Woods, they came into the list, the World Billionaires list, in March 2023, and they didn't make the cut for this one.
Wow. So what about our faves, the Kardashians?
So Kim is at 1.7. She didn't make the cut, but they're still next year. She has a lot of interesting business ventures coming up. She has her shapewear company, Skims, and they just raised 270 million, I think, in June, and upped their valuation to 4 billion and raised her net worth by 500 million. She also has her skincare company, Skin, and she just launched a private equity firm in September of 2022, and they're looking to raise 1 billion to invest in consumer and media companies. And so all of this together could really position her as a top contender for next year or the year after that.
Wow. Well, she's a busy woman and she still didn't make the list. But you know what? I would be okay not making the list. If I fell short in Kim Kardashian or Oprah's range, I'd be happy, Gigi. Would you be happy?
I would.
So we've been hearing a lot about tech this year with the boom of AI, all that's been going on. Are there any billionaires who fell short in the tech space?
Yeah, so there's the Instagram co-founder, Kevin Systrom, and he's at 1.9 billion, so he didn't make the cut. But in 2012, he sold Instagram to Facebook for 1 billion in cash and stock, and now he's heading back into that social media space and launching a new app called Artifact. And this app, the way it works, it's kind of like a TikTok-like algorithm, and it feeds users a curated list of articles and blog posts. So it's all text-based, but if all goes well, it could do really good.
Okay, so it's going to be basically another TikTok?
Yeah, but for text. So just like articles and blog posts.
Yeah. Okay, that's exciting. Anybody else?
Yeah, there's also Palmer Luckey, who's at 1.8 billion, and he also sold to Facebook. He founded Oculus VR, the company, and the virtual reality company, and he sold it in 2014 for 2 billion in cash and stock. And now he's back with this new defense startup. It's called Anduril, and just in December 2022 they raised 1.5 billion at an 8.5 billion valuation. So if that continues to do well, he's also someone to look out for.
Okay, so selling to Facebook, that appears to be the move.
Yeah.
And what about sports? I believe reading in your article somewhere you said something about someone who owned many sports teams.
Yeah, so sports teams have proven to be a great investment. They've really, year over year, they've upped their value. And David Blitzer, he's an executive at Blackstone, and he has a lot of minority stakes in the NHL, the MLB, the NBA, the MLS, so a little bit of everything. And if sports teams continue to do as well as they have, he could also see a jump in his net worth and maybe possibly make the list.
Well, sports teams may be doing really well. Have you seen Taylor Swift lately at the Chiefs games, I believe? It's the Chiefs, right? Yeah. apparently their ticket prices have surged like 3 times because of that.
Yeah.
So hey, she has a golden touch. But anyway, could you tell us a little bit about who dropped off because of the $2.9 billion cutoff?
Yeah, so the cutoff hasn't allowed some billionaires to ever make the Forbes 400, and there are others who have made it in the past and have fallen off. And from last year to this year, I think one of the most relevant ones is Evan Spiegel, the founder of Snap. He's off at 2.6 billion, and former President Donald Trump, he's no longer a member of the Forbes 400. I think he's also at 2.6.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here today.